Do you like goals? Well, you came to the right place for this edition of the Jesters Court. New Orleans goes on the road and dents the net 8 times. But was it enough to get 6 points? We have all of the thrilling action in this week's highlights. Coach Farrell goes in depth on a couple of the plays from that trip, and in our training tip, Coach Ryan Lazaro will show you how players take care of their bodies on the day in between matches. And our left back is joking around. The Jesters return from the road and get set to go right back out. But first, we make a stop in the Jesters Court. After hundreds of miles on the road, it's good to be back at our home, Walk-Ons on Poynter Street, for the newest episode of the Jesters Court. Paul Bourne, along with the head coach of the New Orleans Jesters, Kenny Farrell, and coach, this is the toughest stretch of the season. Over a 9-day stretch, you have 2 road trips of 2 matches in 3 days. You just came off the first one. What are your initial thoughts on how the trip went?
The professionalism of the players, how they handled grueling road trip. We're the only team in the league that kind of has to do these road trips because everybody's, way north of us. And to leave on this 4.5, 5-day road trip and come back with the performances we came back with, I'm happy with. I think 4 points on a road trip is good. It's away from home, but I do feel we dropped 2 points against Nashville, having taken the lead so early and led in that game by 3 goals, and so I would consider that 2 points dropped. But if I had have asked for 4 points going out on the road, I would have been happy. Not happy coming back that we dropped those 2 points.
Well, first up was a trip to Music City, and the Jesters Summer Tour 2017 got off to a rocking start. On a beautiful night in Nashville, it was an even prettier start for the Jesters. First minute, John Evans loops the ball in from the wing, and despite the shoddy camera work, take my word for it, the ball beats the keeper and it's 1-0. Just 7 minutes later, Mason Walsh with the free kick sends it to the far post, and Mason Maurice rises up and heads it past the keeper to make it 2-0. Just 4 minutes after that, the Jesters blow the doors open. Mason Walsh with the shot, and the rebound comes to Lucas Curry, and he heads it in to make it 3-0. So this one's going to be easy, right? Well, to Nashville's credit, they never quit, and after scoring on a quick free kick to cut it to 2, they get even closer. 36th minute, ball lifted in the box, and Felix Obilo beats Chad Collins, and suddenly we have a match. Last week, we saw John Evans score twice on free kicks, this time looking lower corner, but it is saved by Hayden Kaufman. 58th minute, and Inter Nashville has come all the way back as Liam Collins with a sneaky free kick that completely fools Chad Collins. Now Inter Nashville is looking for the 3 points, and this header off the corner is saved by Collins and cleared by Tony Giudice. Golden opportunity for the Jesters in the 72nd minute, but John Evans can't take advantage. Now in stoppage time, Collins' shot is just tipped over the bar by Chad Collins, a huge save to preserve the draw.
The guys are saying, and coach, a point on the road is always good, and at the end of the day, we'll take it, but yes, we're disappointed to be up 3-0 first 15, 20 minutes, and to give that up, it's kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth, knowing we should have played a little bit better mentally, but it's something to learn from, and at the end of the day, the 1 point's better than the loss, so we'll take it. I think it was Mason Walsh's cross. I just wanted to get to the back post, and I think their defender kind of misjudged it, and I was able to put a head on it. Just wanted to put it on frame, and luckily went near post and squeezed in.
I think I was in the right place in the right moment. Mason, he drove the ball, he tried to score, and then the ball bounced in the keeper, and I get the bounce, and I score with a header. I'm starting to get the rhythm of the game here. I'm trying to make flow my game, and I'm doing my best, running a lot to help the guys, to help the team to get the result, to get the 3 points all the games.
So, Coach, really a wild start to this road trip. You come away with 1 point, and I have to admit I was a little surprised at your demeanor after the match. I thought you'd be a little more down. not getting the 3 points after having that 3-0 lead, but you were actually pretty upbeat. Why were you so upbeat about the way things happened in Nashville?
I think we learned as the game went along. You got to remember, this squad is brand new. They don't know each other too well, and they've come together tremendously. I mean, the common aspects I've talked about before is they all want to win. They're all winners, but they learned a little bit from this game. We came out and we pressed early and went 3-0 up and scored 3 great goals. And then we learned a little bit from, I mean, I got to give credit to Nashville for a quick restart to score, to get 3-1. You know, they had a pretty, boisterous crowd there. They got behind them and lifted them. And then, 1 goal came from open play. The cross, it was a great finish, 3-2 at half-time. So in the second half, it was going to be a scrap, and we're 3-2 up. I mean, I think, I hate to say it, but I think there was a couple of discretionary calls by the referee around the box, gave them some free kicks. They happened to score off 1-3-3. But when you look at the second half, we had 3-4 opportunities to win the game in the second half. Unfortunately, they didn't go in. And then you come away 3-3 with the team that's up there with you at the moment, Nashville, on the road away from them. It's not a bad result, but the thing is that the story needs to be where we go from here. So we took a tie away to Nashville, and then you're looking at the next game, and that's why I wasn't down about it. There were some aspects of all these new players playing together in a very tough environment, and what I saw in some of the players tells me that they can win the whole thing.
Well, and the players didn't have long to think about the 2 points that got away, because 2 nights later they were in Birmingham, where Mason Walsh put on a magical performance in the Magic City. Jesters starting quick on the road once again. A long shot rebounds to Tony Giudice, and his right-footed rocket beats the keeper, and it's 1-0. 4 minutes later, Lucas Curry can't get all of it, and Bradley Lewis comes up with a save. 27th minute, ball ends up on the feet of John Evans at the top of the 6th, but he can't put away the contested shot. 2 minutes later, it is Evans with the run and the shot, and then something we have longed to say, Mason Walsh getting his first goal as he is there to poke it in, and it's 2-0. Just before the half, back come the Hammers in stoppage time off of the corner, and Gerard Barbero rips this header past Chad Collins to make it 2-1. 57th minute, Rolando Sanchez with a great chance, but he gets under the ball, and you hope New Orleans wouldn't regret that missed opportunity. 5 minutes later, Walsh scores again, this time on the long ball, able to beat the defender and Lewis to make it 3-1. After Birmingham cut it to 3-2, John Evans, much like in Nashville, does it again from the wing, going over the keeper and off of the far post. Evans telling us later with a smile he was shooting all the way. And then finally some redemption for Sanchez in stoppage time as he settles, rips, and scores, and the Jesters win it 5-2.
It's good to get myself off the mark, obviously, but the main thing is getting 3 points on the road and a point away at Nashville, so that's the main thing for me.
Tell me a little bit about, I know you were thinking about it. How did you not press for that goal, in the last couple of games, or were you pressing?
Just got to let it happen, really. I mean, naturally I probably was pressing, but it's just one of those things. On the day, if it happens, it happens. I just got to keep working hard in training up my finishing and all the other bits and pieces, and it will come eventually. And it has come. It has eventually.
Big time. And finally, just take me through each of the goals.
First one, Johnny done really well, just getting the ball, getting his shot off, and I've just right place, right time, got the goal. Second one, Johnny again running off the shoulders, seen me early, played it, and I've just stuck it in the bottom corner. So second one was one of my favourite. So yeah, it was good.
Does this start a goal-scoring frenzy now?
Let's hope so, Paul. Let's hope so.
Well, before the game, I told the guys that I had a goal in me today. I was just feeling it, and I'm normally an attacking player. The ball was swung in from a corner kick. It was rebounded out, and I was playing right back, so I was sitting on top of the 18. Took a good touch in front of me, and I saw the keeper wasn't protecting his near post, so I just bent it in near post. He had a good attempt at it, but he couldn't keep it out the back of the net. We went up 2-0 this game. They got one back. Instead of sitting back, we started pressing a little bit, and we got that third goal, which gave us a little more breathing room. And then from there, I felt like we handled the game pretty well.
So, Coach, when Birmingham kept inching closer, you couldn't help but think, all right, is this going to be a repeat of Thursday? But your guys, pun intended, really put the hammer down.
Yeah, and when you think about the goals that were scored against us, they're coming from set pieces. They're not coming from open play, so it's something we have to tighten up. on. You know, we deserved a 2-goal lead going into half-time. Basically, the last play is a corner to them, and I think it was a very well executed corner, to be honest with you, and they deserved a score from it. Overall, did they deserve a goal in the first half? Probably not, but they did well. So we got to get better at defending corners and defending free kicks. Second goal they got was from a corner as well. I think everybody knows the ball was pushed into the net, and it may have been a free kick out, and I don't blame the referee, he didn't see it, but it got them back 3-2, and it was a bit nervy then, but we still handled it very well. I remember on the road, and we kept creating chances, and right towards the end we scored the 2 goals we deserved, and I think we won it in a fair result at the end of the day. But that's over now. We move on to the next one.
It was a wild road trip, and we've got another road trip ahead this week. We will preview that later in the show. But coming up next, Coach will go inside the action from our road trip with our coach's breakdown, plus assistant coach Ryan Lazaro takes his players through the off day in our training tip. That's coming up. This edition of the Jesters Court is presented by Heineken. Open your world. By Rockin' Bowl. Also by Design the Planet. Dream, brand, evolve. And by Walk-Ons. Everyone needs a little playing time.
I wasn't born in America, and arriving here wasn't easy for me. They didn't even say my name right. I thought I'd never fit in. But over time, I gained their respect, and that respect turned into admiration. Admiration into love. And the world better be ready, 'cause I'm an American now. My name is soccer.
Welcome back to Walk-Ons on Poydras Street, and it's time to go inside the action with our coach's breakdown presented by Heineken. We're going to look at a play from each of the matches last week, and we're going to start with our match in Nashville and the goal by Mason Maurice. And this is kind of a design play by you guys off of the free kick, and it all starts with Mason Walsh picking out a player.
Yeah, very happy with it. You can see the concentration level from Mason before he strikes this ball. He's very focused on where he wants the ball to drop. He's eliminated the goalkeeper. The other strikers have taken all of the defenders to the front post. Mason Maurice sneaks around the back. He's one-on-one, but the strike of the ball, the serve is so good. It's a perfect delivery and a great finish from Mason at the back post. You can't ask for better than that.
Now let's go ahead to Birmingham and the goal by Mason Walsh, his first of the year. And before we even get to the goal, Coach, let's just talk about Mason Walsh in that he's had this monkey on his back of trying to get his first goal. Did you feel he was pressing in any way before he got this goal the other night?
Yeah, well, he's been a little bit frustrated. He hasn't got off the mark. He's a very big part of the team. He's played for us for 3 seasons, and he wants to do well for us, but he hasn't been able to score. And sometimes I felt he's kind of hurt himself a little bit by trying too hard. And then I was glad he got this goal, monkey off the back, as you say. But when you look, okay, so we get a little bit of luck here. It bounces off Mason. And what happens is, look where Mason is now. So what happens is John is attacking the player. But because Mason is staying with him, the defender has to think about both options, which he's drawn in. I thought he was going to lay it off. He takes the shot, but Mason keeps running with him and slots it in perfectly, very controlled. But the fact that he kept the run going, it gave the defender 2 things to think about. It gave, about the 2 players. Is he going to slide it off? Is he gonna go at it himself? And what happened was Mason, even in the support play, it put him in a position to follow in, as all good strikers do. And if the keeper drops it, then he goes in and finishes.
Well, Coach, I asked Mason after the match, and you saw it earlier in the show, whether this was going to open the floodgates for him. He said he hopes so, and I know you hope so as well. We will see. Well, time to switch gears now. It's time for our training tip presented by Rockin' Bowl and Ye Old College Inn. And you have talked in the past about what a valuable asset Coach Ryan Lazaro is. Well, he's going to be the subject of our training tip, and it's a little different. It's what players should be doing on that off day when they have 2 matches in 3 days. Let's check it out.
My name is Ryan Lazaro. I'm the assistant coach with the New Orleans Jesters. This is my 7th year with the organization, and so for us, we're entering a 2-week period of where we have literally 4 games within a matter of 2 weeks, which can be very difficult on the player's body. So for us, how we recover is extremely important. So here behind us, we have the boys going through a pool session, and sometimes we forget recovery is the best session, not actually getting on the field and doing more work. So here we have the boys doing a pool session, and we do this for 3 reasons. 1, obviously to reduce soreness. 2nd, to make sure we get all the lactic acid out of their system. And third, it helps to prevent drop-off in their performance. So what we have is going through quite a few different dynamic exercises, dynamic movements inside the pool. For right now, the biggest thing about the recovery is to make sure they have proper range of motion. So again, gentlemen, hey, it's all about range of motion. Get that knee up to the chest. Don't be satisfied just grabbing the top of your knee. Get it up to your chest, make sure we have a full range of motion here. Not necessarily speed and intensity, but focusing on the range of motion on everything that we're doing in the recovery. So for us, we just finished playing Nashville. We're playing Birmingham tomorrow. So day between the match, we want to get them out here, do what we can in terms of getting the foam rollers out, getting the massage sticks out. But we were very fortunate that we were able to get access of a pool and be able to do this to make sure the players are prepared for tomorrow's match. Just normal swim, freestyle. As you get to the end, after the swim, back pedal back. So this time, power skip, so as you drive up, your knee comes up, opposite arm comes up. So get as high as you can. Again, only going about 70% up. As you're coming back, I want a long stride. Make sure we stretch out. Yeah, make sure we stretch out the hamstring. So, all the way up to me, open the gate, make sure we get our groin halfway there, close the gate, going opposite direction. Again, hey, really focus on getting that range of motion. Get it up and bring it all the way across. Make sure we get everything inside. Switch up, going all the way across. Again, range of motion, guys, don't cheat yourselves. We want to make sure after sessions, you focus on the range of motion, not the intensity, not the speed of the session, but range of motion. So, appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach, and we will hear from him again next week when we're on the road, when we talk about how you Jesters should eat the day before and the day of matches to get that proper nutrition. But that's next week. Up next, we take your questions about the purple, green, and black, as well as the red, white, and blue. Ask the coaches ahead on CST.
New Orleans Jesters soccer is back for the 2017 season, and now is the time to be a part of the action. Cheer on your Jesters down the home stretch of the season as they square off with their Southeast Conference rivals. Single game tickets are just $10 and $5 for kids 14 and under. Discounted group tickets are available as well. Go to nolajesters.com or call 504-312-3979.
As you look at the players joining us here at Walk-Ons, we remind you to come out to Walk-Ons each Monday night to be a part of the show, and you can meet some of our outstanding players. And it's time to learn more about those guys and everything soccer. It's Ask the Coach, and we'll start with a question from the audience.
I'm Jesse Coulter, and my question for Coach is, who was your toughest opponent?
Toughest opponent as a coach? The toughest opponent as a coach probably was the New England Revolution from Major League Soccer when we played them here. I mean, one of the smartest guys in the world also. Best man at my wedding, Stevie Nicol, was coaching, who's obviously won 2 European Cups, played in 3 finals, I believe, and won the English League so many times. But anyway, look, he was a genius, and he had a great run with New England when he was there, and they came here and played us, and we played him a couple of times, and we gave him a little bit of a fright in one game, but that was tough. And then we played the Honduras national team over here, and that was a tough game. Olympia came here and played for Honduras, tough game. But when it comes to the league that we play in, it's always Chattanooga, to be honest with you. It's always Chattanooga. Look, for a few years they've been the toughest team in the league, and deservedly so. They've had great players and done great things in their community, and every time we play them, we see it as a rivalry, and they do as well. And Bill Elliott's a great coach, and Sean McDaniel is a great general manager, and they put a great thing together. And my hair stands up thinking about playing them on Thursday night, and I hope the players' hair stands up as well, because we are going in to play a tough match, and we're going in to hopefully beat them and come away from their place with 3 points.
All right, let's go to Twitter. Remember, you can use the hashtag AskCoachFarrell. This is from @BrenBonmaster, who wants to know what you think of the United States performance during the World Cup qualifiers this past weekend. Obviously outstanding, getting 4 points and moving up in the Hex.
incredible result. I think anybody goes to Azteca and comes away with a point is doing well, to be fair. And when you look at where the United, and I was a fan of Klinsmann, by the way, where you look where the you know, the morale of the team was at that time, it was low, and you've got to give Arena credit for, you know, tactically approaching the game very, very well. He's a fearless coach. He does what he thinks is right, and he usually gets it right. And to go in there, it's built a confidence for that team, and it's so important for the United States to make the World Cup finals that overall it was brilliant in many respects, for the morale of the team, for the belief of the team. He's believing in the United States. He's got the fans behind him. They've taken a great result on the road. They know they can get to the World Cup finals now, and I think it's all good. I can't say enough about the result.
So they're looking to get to the World Cup, but you'll be watching this week as the Confederations Cup gets started, and you've got a little bit of a local interest as Anthony Hudson, a former shell shocker, is the head man with New Zealand.
Yeah, he's a former player and a very good friend, and he's now the head coach of New Zealand. And you know, it's just one of those stories that, you know, some of, you know, you talk about Patrick Mullins, Andrew Tarbell, other players that have done so well, that have come through our system and through us over the years in different respects in England and all that. And then you look at Anthony taking New Zealand to the Confederations Cup as their head coach. And we've had a former New Zealand, you know, internet player for us that's played in the World Cup finals, Andy Barron. So, you know, we've got all these connections people don't really know about, but I'm delighted for him. I'll be cheering for him. Obviously, Ireland's not there and the USA is not there, so let's cheer on New Zealand this weekend. And I'm sure Anthony will be in to visit us soon in New Orleans, and when he does, hopefully we can get him in here. You know, he invited me to the game in Ireland on June 3rd to come in training camp with the team, and obviously we were playing Houston that weekend, so it was either go to Northern Ireland to see New Zealand play and hang out with the team, or play Houston here at Pan Am, and I made the right choice. I stayed here and we played Houston.
I'm not sure you made the right choice, actually.
Listen, it's all about this team.
I know. Yeah. Let's get another question from the audience.
Hi, my name is Robert, and my question for Coach is, what do you have to do to keep your winning streak?
Well, the first things first, we gotta keep the mentality right of the team. We're very quick to identify weaknesses on the team, and not just me, but collaboratively with the players. We're very good to say, listen, let's do this, let's do that, let's fix it. Injuries?
Well, along the lines of injuries, this kind of leads us to our next question. It's from Benjamin Haswell. He asked this in the Royal Courts Roundtable. Is Mr. Jester Tony Giudice becoming a fixture at right back, or is that more a tactical decision based on injuries?
Yeah, good question. Tony can play 3 or 4 positions for us and do an extremely good job, but it doesn't matter where he plays. The intensity and the desire and the passion that he brings kind of transcends to other players. So we were in need this weekend to cover some injuries, and he played it right back. I see him as a forward primarily, and but he can do other positions for us. And as I say, he's such a leader for us that he'll do anything we ask of him. And I don't see him as the right back unless we stay injured with certain people going through the season. I see him moving back up front.
Fantastic, and really a great round of questions from everybody this week. Well, one swing through Tennessee is down, but one big one is ahead. We will preview our trip to Chattanooga and Memphis, plus we joke around with our left back Keenan Armbrust when the Jesters Court returns.
You got to prove yourself to make it in America. It doesn't matter where you came from. I heard it, I'd never make it, but I proved them wrong.
My name? You can call me Soccer.
So, Coach, looking at the standings, you may notice a little different look to the standings this week, as we're going to line up with the way the league ranks its conference, and that is by points per games played. So because of that, even though Nashville has 13 points, they have 2 games in hand. So by the official standings, you are atop the Southeast Conference, and obviously you just keep on winning and you stay there.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to look at the table and see New Orleans at the top, but in actual fact, we only have as many points as we have. It's really about putting points in the bag for us. I understand why they do PPG, because it's different across the nation how many teams play, and so it comes. But that being said, we look at the next game and we look at 3 points every time.
Well, Coach, you can boost that number of points even more as we take our look ahead, presented by Walk-Ons, and 2 big matches again on the road this week. It starts Thursday night against our rivals in Chattanooga, always a great environment. And then Saturday we head west to face a Memphis City FC squad that has 2 wins and 3 draws this season. so they're a solid squad as well. Briefly, just talk about both those teams.
Well, both of them ended up in the final of our conference last year, and not easy teams to play on the road. It's difficult enough, but Chattanooga, look, they've got quality players, they've got a very good organization, they've got a very good coach, so it's going to be a tough game. We just have to approach it in the right manner and come out ready to play, rested, and with the right players on the pitch, and see if we can go ahead and win it. And we'll take care of that in training tomorrow and the next day, and we'll head on the road.
So another big weekend ahead on the road, but last week when we were on the road, we got a chance to catch up with left back Keenan Armbrust. He is the subject of this week's Joking Around.
Hi, my name is Keenan Armbrust. I'm a left wing back, and this is my first year with the Jesters. I'm going to have to go with Thierry Henry, just because that was a player I really admired growing up and love his playing style and the way he could just take over a game. Special skills, talents. Like I mentioned earlier, art. Love drawing ever since I was a kid. I really enjoyed tattoo art and designing tattoos. I've actually done quite a bit of graffiti, as bad as that may be. Love spray painting and stuff. I actually did a few things for Red Bull, and that was pretty fun. So yeah, probably art. If I wasn't a soccer player, either an artist. I love painting, and drawing and tattoos are really fun for me. And if I wasn't that, probably just a businessman, finding ways to make money, I guess. Yeah. Maybe reffing, getting yelled at by parents who don't know what they're talking about. Might be the worst. Yeah.
Does that teach you respect to the referees now?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. Some referees are terrible, so. Favorite movie of all time? I really like Warrior. I think it's the MMA movie with the two brothers. Or I love the Lord of the Rings trilogy, so I'm a total nerd for that, yeah. Probably any of Justin Bieber's original music. Or One Direction's first and second album. They're enjoyable, I don't know. I guess that's the worst.
Well, thanks, Keenan. Hopefully you can draw up a couple of victories for us this weekend. And Coach, a disturbing trend in the Joking Around segments. How many of your players like Justin Bieber? I'm a little concerned about how many fans of Biebs there are.
I'd prefer not to comment on that one.
Well, we will see if another player secretly likes Biebs next week in Joking Around. And you can see the show at these times. Of course, this show plus other content is available on my YouTube channel. And we remind you to check out all of the action around the league on This Week in the NPSL each Thursday on NPSL.com and on my Twitter as well. But first off, a couple days at home, and then we're back on the road for a huge swing through Tennessee, and hopefully it's just as successful as the road trip we just came back from. So for Coach Kenny Farrell, Paul Boran saying so long from Walk-Ons.